What's going on, everybody? It's Cody. Welcome back to the channel. WNBA two-game slate here on Friday. Decent two games. One really, really good game. One kind of meh. 10K to first. Love that we're getting consistent 10Ks to first, but let's look at my lineups from today. The showdown, 10K to first. I did throw two lines in it. I mentioned in the stream how I was on Stewie at captain. She's shooting like one of a million. Sabrina's playing really well. John Quill's playing really well. I mentioned that I kind of like Doncic for value. She's been fine. Talbot's been good. This line's is pretty solid. Just needs Stewie to wake up, and it could be really good. The other line I played Uru captain. She's not getting the run. She does have two fouls though, which isn't ideal, but I did play Phoebich in this one. I was really high on Talbot for value. I just thought her minutes were really secure, but Uru is busting pretty hard, which is disappointing. But my main slate lineup, once Arike was ruled in, I was really, really interested in playing her. She come in at 44%. I was not expecting that. She scored 31 real life points, had 3 peripheral stats, and put up 42 fantasy points. 3 steals. She got there in garbage time. I mean, she hit like 4 or 5 threes in the last like 4 minutes of the game. I like Sheldon. Once she was announced as a starter, 45%. She was really popular. Big T, another letdown for Big T. I mean, I don't really know. She'll just randomly pop when the matchups are good. Just weird. It's so weird watching her play. She could just dominate whenever she wants, and she chooses not to at times. Just puzzling. And then I stacked the New York bigs, John Quill and Stewie, and then played Uru. Uru struggling, but outside chance I could possibly cash on the main slate, even with Big T. Probably not, but I mean, we got a shot there. But the odds weren't up for the games, so I've got them here on my phone. Fever at the Dream, 2.5 point spread. Fever the favorites, 161.5 total. Sun at the Aces. Aces are 5.5 point favorites. Over under 162.5. I don't know why the Sun are 5.5 point dogs. I know it's a road game, but that seems really wide. It would not shock me if the Sun don't roll into Vegas and get a win here. They're just such a sound defensive team, whereas the Aces are a lot better with Chelsea Gray on the floor, but I mean they don't play any defense whatsoever. So 5.5, that's a big number for me in my opinion. But let's break down these team by team, and we'll get out of here. On the Indiana side, Caitlin Clark 10.5K. Price went up a little bit. Not enough, in my opinion. I mean, she had a rough game against Atlanta last time out. Shot 3 of 11, only 10 peripheral stats. But she is really starting to find her stride. I mean, 18 peripheral stats to go with 18 real life points last time out. 4 steals. Shot 50%. She has huge, huge upside. And we know Atlanta can't stop anyone. Aaliyah Boston, speaking of Atlanta, can't stop anybody. Aaliyah Boston absolutely fried them last time they played. 34 minutes, 50 fantasy points. Have no issues playing her in tournaments. Melissa Smith, another great tournament play, 8,600. Back-to-back games, over 30 minutes. Kind of disappeared in the second half against Washington. Really took a back seat, but don't mind her for tournaments at all. The upside is there, especially if she gets the minutes. Kelsey Mitchell, pure tournament play, 22 real life points, 28 fantasy points. You know what you're getting out of her. She shot 8 of 11. She's purely scoring dependent, offers next to nothing on the peripheral stats. Christy Wallace, 5,300. Minutes aren't the best. They've been below 20 the past 2 games. She has not played well. She's a tournament play and a decent value, but the minutes are trending in the wrong direction. Katie Lou, 4,800. Minutes weren't the best the past 2 games. She's scoring dependent. Did not score at all last game. Pretty hard to trust. Erica Wheeler got extended last game. She was playing well. If you want to chase, be my guest. Lexi Hull played 20, 10, and 21 minutes the 3 games before last game. Only saw 8 minutes in that game, so best of luck guessing what Christy Sides is going to do at the bench. Obviously, Grace Berger, Celeste Taylor, and Saxton are just not going to play. They haven't played in a long time unless the game just blows out. On the Atlanta side, we already have news that Ryan Howard is out. I really hope that's not a serious injury and she gets to play in the 3-on-3 at the Olympics. Tina Charles, 8,700, is fine. She should play low 30s minutes, assuming no foul trouble. She's can still fill it up. The scoring's never been an issue for her. It's the desire to play and her want to. That's my biggest worry with her. Sometimes she can just check out. Alicia Gray, 8,200, nailed her playing massive minutes last time with Powers out. With Ryan Howard out, I'm expecting her to play high 30s minutes. She shot 1 of 16 and put up 25.5 fantasy points. I love the upside that she brings. Ryan Howard is out, so that's just a lot of usage to go around this team. Alicia Gray, pretty scoring dependent of late, but she shot 1 of 16 and still put up 25 fantasy points, so I have a lot of interest in tournaments. Cheyenne Parker, 7,500 minutes. She's just not trustable. Like, you just can't trust her. Tanisha Wright is the worst coach in the WNBA, in my opinion. Who knows what she's going to do. Tomorrow may be the Cheyenne Parker game. It may be the Naz Hillman game. It may be the prime James Harden game for Nia Coffey. 35 fantasy points in 26 minutes. 5K. You can chase that. Just know her floor is 10 minutes, 1 fantasy point. I think her ceiling, her absolute nuclear ceiling is 35, but her regular ceiling is like this 18 range, 18 to 20. Ariel Powers is back. She's not on the injury report. I'm expecting her to start. They need her as the off-ball guard. I'm expecting her to start, play big minutes. Probably one of the best plays on the slate, in my opinion. She's going to chunk it. I'm very high on Powers. Just a lot of usage to go around with Howard off the floor. Haley Jones has been playing better of late. 33, 26, 25 minutes. I'm expecting mid-20s minutes. Scored in double figures in 2 of the last 3. You can play her. 4,700 is not a bad price. Naz, been super consistent minutes-wise and plays 11 last game and really only got there because she played in, like, at the very end in the junk minutes. Let's see here. Naz Hillman come in and played 4 minutes in the middle of the 4th quarter. Didn't really do much. Hard to trust. Apparently, she's been really consistent, but they're just going to go with the hot hand and whoever's playing well. So it's really hard to trust a lot of their forward bigs. Nia Coffey did play a lot of the 3 at times. So I think her minutes are probably the safest, assuming she's playing well. But, I mean, they dusted off Kabaj and was playing Kabaj over Hillman in the second half. So, good luck. Dangerfield, minutes were fine. I mean, she played 17 minutes, 3 fantasy points. Just a terrible fantasy point per minute player. Really hard to trust. I'm expecting 15 to 18 minutes, but really can't expect too much out of her. She's just not a good offensive player. She's not a good fantasy point per minute player, so really hard to trust her there. Kabaj at the flat men. You can play her. If you think she's going to get extended again, play 13 minutes. I'm expecting her to get 1 rotation, maybe 2. But if you're looking for a pure punt play, you can go Kabaj. The game of the night, for sure. Connecticut at the Aces. On the Connecticut side, Alyssa Thomas, AT 11-7. Had some down games of late. I mean, below 40 in 3 of the last 5. Then a 24 here. Obviously, we know the upside that she brings. She's averaging 12, 9, and 8. Almost a triple-double. This game should be competitive. She should be tasked to play high 30s, maybe even the entire game. in a game that's competitive, she's going to play the entire game. Like against New York, she played all 40 minutes. I would expect 37 to 40 is a safe meter for her, assuming no foul trouble. Dewana Bonner, 9,300. Price is fine. Going to play low 30s minutes. Good scorer. Been getting the rebounds of late, so the upside is there for her in tournaments. Bree Jones, 8,500. Should be tasked to play low 30s minutes, and I think her price is a bit too cheap because a lot of these games, her minutes have been down because they've just been absolutely dog walking people. I think she's going to be playing close to 30 and maybe even more if this game is competitive. So love Bree Jones here. Carrington and Harris both are fine. The matchup is good. I think the price is fine on both of them. Obviously, Carrington a higher ceiling but a lower floor. Olivia Nelson-Ododa, if you think Bree Jones gets in foul trouble, just know that she played 12 minutes and scored a half a fantasy point. So the floor is very low for her. Tiffany Mitchell is fine. I mean, she played 20 minutes again. She's just not a good fantasy point per minute player, but the price is solid, and she's getting minutes. Like, her minutes are really consistent. Banham as well, played 18 minutes. She's a lot better of an offensive threat than Tiffany Mitchell. So you can take a shot on her if you think she continues to shoot the ball well. No interest in Burton or Nadur Fall for me. On the Aces side, a lot to like. Like most slates with the Aces, Asia Wilson at the top, 12-4. If you have the money for a player, like, don't think twice about it. Don't overthink it. Walking 50 bomb on most nights. They're going to need her here. Jackie Young, 9,400. Price is too cheap. She shot 19 times against Seattle, played 35 minutes, back to her normal minutes. I'm expecting 35 to 38, with this being a premier top-tier matchup, or a top-tier game against a good team. Had 41 fantasy points, 32 real-life points. I'm not expecting that many real-life points again, but the peripheral stats are consistent. I love Jackie Young here in this matchup. Plum, 8,400. She's been okay. Like, she's purely scoring dependent. I mean, 8 assists last time out. That's just an outlier. She's been hanging out at this, like, 3, 4, 5 range. Not going to grab many boards. Not going to do much of anything else besides shoot the ball. And she did not even shoot the ball this last time out. Played 34 minutes. Only took 8 shots. That number needs to go up. The price is solid for someone of her talent level. So I will definitely be taking shots in tournaments. Chelsea Gray, 6,200. Saw 16 minutes in her debut. Played in spurts off the bench. I'm expecting it to slowly tick up over the next few games, maybe 18 to 20 minutes for her. I think at that pace, 6,200, she's a fine play in large field tournaments. Her upside is just capped because until her minutes limit is gone, it's really hard for her to just pop the top off a slate, even though her price is pretty low. Tiffany Hayes got the start last time out over Alicia Clark. Would like her again, assuming she starts. Played 24 minutes, shot 50%, 22 fantasy points. Don't mind her as a cheaper option. She's played on Connecticut before, so who knows? Maybe she'll have some feistiness for those girls over there. Clark come off the bench, 5,500, played 22 minutes. She's fine. I mean, she shot 4 or 5. I'm not expecting her to do that very often. But the nights that she scores well in real life are the nights that she's going to have a good fantasy game. So that's what you're hoping for if you play her. Kia Stokes, 4,600. She's fine. Like, you know, she's going to play right around 20 minutes. Not much offensive upside whatsoever. She rarely ever even scores. If you play her, you're just hoping for some blocks and some rebounds. Kate Martin, really can't recommend playing her. Saw 10 minutes against Seattle, negative fantasy points. Just the minutes aren't going to be there for her. Same with Colson, Carter, and Gus. Like, they're just going to run a tight rotation. Now that Chelsea Gray is back, and as she gets more acclimated and starts to play more minutes, it's just going to mean less minutes for, like, Kate Martin or Alicia Clark. Maybe even Stokes. Maybe they go small and play Asia at the 5 more often than not. That they have lately. But that's going to do it for me, guys. If you enjoy the content, leave a like. It helps out the channel. I really appreciate it. And we'll see you for the next one.